Hey, and welcome back. In this video we're going to go through something that's actually quite important when you're setting up any new business. Doesn't matter if it's a handyman business or some other small business, and that's about giving your new business some legitimacy so that customers really come to gravitate towards you. Whenever you've got a business or whenever you've got customers who are looking for some sort of service, they really don't want to deal with cowboys. They only want to deal with trustworthy companies or trustworthy individuals that they know are going to give them some good service. So that's pretty much what this video is about. It's just some of the things to think about when you're setting up your new business. So probably firstly and most importantly is really getting some good accounting advice to start with. Now I know that sounds dull and boring and all those sort of things, but it's actually quite important to set your business and structure your business up in the right way. Here in Australia there's multitudes of different ways to set up a small business. And that could be a sole trader, it can be a proprietary limited company, there's family trusts, there's a whole bunch of different ways to set up a business, and each of those has different tax implications. So it's really quite important that you go and talk to your accountant first and foremost so that they can give you the right advice as the right way to set things up. Now some people go, oh, it's expensive to go and talk to an accountant. Really it's not, and it's actually be more expensive if you get it wrong and you suddenly end up with huge tax bills, or you end up with all sorts of other legal issues that you perhaps didn't know anything about. So probably first and foremost, the dull and boring stuff from my perspective is actually to go and talk to an accountant and get the right advice in the right way to structure it. And it really doesn't have to be that expensive, but it is important. So onto what I think is the more fun stuff anyway. And some of the other steps to think about in setting yourself up. I know with my business, I set up with a proper business name. So Bass Valley Handyman is the company name that I chose. And that's the thing that people recognize me by. It doesn't matter what your business name actually is. It can be Joe Blow's Handyman Services or Stu's Handyman Services. Doesn't matter. It's really just finding a name that works, finding a name that people will remember. So, and you may need to go through a whole list. So really, sit down one night and write out a whole bunch of names that you think could work. Because the first one you choose is not necessarily the best one. So at least by doing a bit of writing down a dozen or so names, it gives you a bit of an idea and something to think about and something to share with some friends to see what they think. Then when you've got what you think will be a really good business name, there's a couple of things you need to go and check. Firstly, here in Australia, and it may be different, and I'm pretty sure it will be different in other countries, but here in Australia, you really need to make sure that that name's not already taken. So when I first I first thought about setting up names, I had a whole bunch of them. I live in a region of Australia that's on the Bass Valley, it's Bass Coast actually. So my first name that I was going for was Bass Coast Handyman. But when I actually went and had a look used our securities exchange and went and looked online, that name was already taken. Somebody already got the Bass Coast Handyman. An old guy somewhere down the road set one up about 10 or 15 years ago. He doesn't use it anymore, but I didn't want to get confused with his business, so I really had to go and find something else. So in that case, I actually settled on Bass Valley Handyman was a better one for me and for my business. Once you know that the business name's available, then there's a couple of other things you need to check as well. And that is that name available as a domain name? So I have bassvalleyhandyman.com.au, so that's in Australia. So can you get a domain name that you can then use when you want to build a website, further down the track? And also, is the Facebook page available as well? So just have a look at Facebook pages and just check to see if that that name's also available there. Yeah, and that also becomes important because once you start doing your marketing, and we'll do a marketing video later on how to attract customers, it's important that you're able to show legitimacy for the business by having things like Facebook pages, having an email address, having a website, those sorts of things. So go and check to make sure that on the main social media sites that that name that you want to use is available still. So once you've done the checking, you've finally found a business name that works, and sometimes it sort of sounds a bit embarrassing when it takes a bit of getting used to when you create this name out of nothing and you're trying to make a business work. So, but yeah, believe me, you will get used to it. So no matter how crazy it sounds, you will get used to it, and people will start to recognise your brand name as you go through. So once you've got the name, then the next thing to do is really to get a logo designed. So again, this is going to lead into marketing later. But if you've got a logo, people can see your logo, something that's recognisable, then that's going to help you as well. And it doesn't have to cost much money. I went online and found a logo designing website, and pretty much just plugged my name into the logo that you see today, and that was it. It was done. And I think to get the full rights to that, with all the different types of images, might have cost me about $60 or $70. So you don't have to spend big money to actually do that. So then once I got my logo, and a business name, then I'm sort of ready to roll as such. So it was a matter of using that logo and that business name to start setting up a few other things. So a couple of the other things that you will need when you set up is things like a website. Again, it doesn't have to be expensive to do. It can be just as simple as a pretty simple page or just some basic information. There's lots of places to go online to build free websites. Or most high school students can do it these days. So it may be, if you don't know how to do it yourself, then get creative and talk to one of the local high school kids or somebody you might know. Get them to put something together for you. Doesn't have to be expensive. Doesn't have to be complicated. I think my website cost me my domain name per year and a little bit for hosting. It's not expensive, but it's great marketing, and it does give you legitimacy. Because when customers are looking to say, well, I'm choosing between two different handymen or two different businesses, which one's real and which one's not? So you'll quite often find that people will go, is there a website? And they'll go and search for you. If they find you there, then that's giving you legitimacy. That gives your customers some comfort that you're actually real and you sort of know what you're doing. Next thing then as well is also things like a Facebook page. And I think personally in the handyman space, having a Facebook page is probably one of the most important things that you can do, because it's through social media where everybody's looking, and that's where the majority of my work comes from. So by having a Facebook page there, and it doesn't have to be complex, but having a Facebook page for my business is really quite important. And having the photos of jobs that I've done and those sorts of things sitting on that Facebook page, that's where my customers go to check me out. And that's where the customers go to say, well, what type of work have I done? And is the work any good? And what are my customers saying about me? So again, from a marketing perspective, and if people are wanting to check me out, they can just go straight there, and they can even ask questions. So again, that just gives you legitimacy. It gives the customers comfort that you're real and that you know what you're actually talking about. A couple of other things that may be of use to you on the some people go as far as getting sign writing done on the sides of the cars and those sort of things. I didn't go that way. I just got some magnetic banners on the side of my truck. I just got them made up. They're sort of so big, although you can't probably tell what that is on the screen. And they cost me about 70 or 80 bucks. And I got 4 of those for that price, and I stick 2 on my car and 2 on my trailer, so that wherever I'm going, people can see that advertising. And you might think, I don't want to spend 70 or 80 bucks on more marketing and that sort of thing, but those signs actually paid for themselves with new work for people walking up to me in car parks and saying, can you do a job for me? They paid for themselves within the first week, basically. So it's not expensive to do. And again, it just gives some legitimacy. So you've got a brand, you've got a logo, you've got your website, you've got your Facebook page, you've got your things like your business cards, and you're a legitimate business. And if you're a legitimate business, that's going to give your customers some real confidence that that you're real. And then it's up to you to actually do really good quality work. Something else that's also important is just make sure you've got things like your insurances in place as well. So again, different in different countries, but here in Australia, things like your work cover insurance and things like public liability insurance, tool insurance in case your tools get stolen. But having those insurances in place also lead to an amount, give you an amount of legitimacy for your company. So that's it for this video. As always, if you like what you see, please like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'll leave some info in the description section below, just on a few of the places that I went looking to get banners done and business cards and logos and that sort of thing. It will be different in your own your own country, but again, if you like what you see, please like and subscribe. Share the video if you can, help us get this information out. Look out for more videos. We've got one on marketing coming up very shortly, so on how to get customers. So but look, good luck with it, and any questions or comments, please let me know. Anyway, see you soon.